Brian Rich is here today to talk to us about a super important thing that every person who inherits a home needs to remember, and that is to attend to the property insurance policy as soon as possible. The reason being is that if a branch hits the roof and the decedent's uh, policy is in their name instead of the trust name, if the decedent has passed away, that person is no longer around to be the insured person. So, Brian, tell us a little bit about your approach and your advice on this important issue.
Well, Tracy, it's a pleasure to speak with you today, and thanks for inviting me. And not to malign the insurance industry, but one judge famously said that insurance companies are not in the business of paying claims, they're in the business of collecting premiums. And when the sole owner of a home passes away, the property is generally no longer owner occupied, and insurance companies have different rates for vacant property or even rental property as compared with owner occupied property. And the terms in the insurance policy itself, just like any contract, are what governs. And if someone wants to make a claim under an insurance policy, the insurer will look to the terms in the policy. And if those terms are no longer met, they can certainly deny the claim. So you pointed out that the name of the insured may no longer be the name of the owner, and there may be an issue with respect to owner-occupied property, which then could lead to the insurance company denying a claim.
And one thing that you told me, Brian, is that it's much easier to have the conversation around tweaking the terms of the insurance policy up front, and for multiple reasons. But one of them was because when a property is being listed and sold, there's certainly more eyeballs and more activity around the property. But you also had a good point, and you mentioned about maintenance and how it's truly not deferred as much when the intent is to sell the home.
Absolutely. So most insurance companies, if a property is, quote, vacant, will want to charge a higher premium, with the reason being it's generally assumed that people take better care of homes that they live in than homes that they don't. However, in the case where a home is being listed for sale, the exact opposite may be true. A homeowner may defer some maintenance and just say, well, I can live with this in my own home. But when they're trying to sell an inherited piece of property, they want everything pristine so that they can get it sold quickly and at the best price. And the way to do that is to make sure that everything is in fact properly maintained. The house has a regular stream of visitors so that any issues can be immediately identified. And the time to talk, though, with your insurance agent about what type of policy is appropriate for a home that is being listed or a home that is temporarily vacant is at the time that you are obtaining the coverage, not after there has been a casualty. Much better to address the issue up front, both from a peace of mind perspective and quite honestly from a cost perspective, because even if you win a fight with an insurance company after a casualty, it ends up costing you a whole lot more than making sure the coverage was proper up front.
Right. Well, thank you for this amazing advice that can save the audience lots of time, lots of money, and avoid frustrations.
Thank you for having me.